guys, what's up? So one common question I get from my athletes is, what kind of sprinting spike should I buy? So that's kind of what I want to go over today. For those that don't know me, my name's Fallon Headings. I'm a physical therapist and a track and field performance coach. So when you go to pick your spike, again, I talk about in picking your training shoe, the most important thing is making sure the spike is comfortable. That's the most important thing, because you have to race in these, you have to train in these, so you have to be in your spikes more than you would want to sometimes, and you want to make sure it's comfortable. So when picking a training spike, a sprinting spike, there's two really big common things to look at. One is what the bottom is made of. So this is my old sprinting spike from college, and it's plastic until almost the bottom. Sometimes it'll be plastic all the way through to the heel, and then other times it will be plastic only until the edge of the spike area, and then it becomes rubber. With a spike that's mostly rubber on the bottom, you're gonna have a lot more give to the spike. Now this actually, I believe, which is interesting, has a plastic piece underneath this rubber, because there's actually not a lot of give to this until the heel, which would be the same as this spike. And now this spike's worn, so it's got a lot more give up here than this one. But for a sprinting spike, what you want is the most rigid foot plate that you can find. So because this is old, this isn't as good as a model, but you really want to make sure your sprinting spike is stiff. So like this is actually, one, it's brand new. I got it off of at TJ Maxx for $10. You can't beat it. Doesn't fit me, but I'll give it away to somebody. But making sure when you pull the foot back, where it's gonna break is not up around the ball of the foot, because you can lose a lot of energy that way in your spike. So that's one thing to look at when you have a sprinting spike. The next thing you want to look at too is spike holes. So there are 6 spike holes in this one. There's only 5 spike holes in this one. The more spike holes, the better. This guy usually does get a little bit of grip, but a lot of times, especially when you're sprinting, you are actually sprinting on the outside of your shoe, especially going around the turns. So making sure there's 3 on the outside is really important. This one has 3 on the outside. I don't love that this one's as high as it is. I would rather it more down in this area right here. So I actually like this sprint spike a lot more than the Nikes that I had in college. So it's kind of interesting as I'm analyzing these spikes. But that's one thing you really want to look at, is making sure you have good grip on the outside of your spike, because that's what you're going to need, especially in indoor races when you're really hugging that turn and running on the turn. So those are kind of my 2 go-to things that I will look at with sprint spikes. The other kind of things, like this one wraps around your foot, is more just for comfort. If this is comfortable to you, have at it. If it's not comfortable to you, don't buy the shoe. This strap right here that goes across doesn't really make a big difference either. I've never actually tightened this in all my sprinting days, so again, it doesn't really make that big of a difference. This spike is pretty simple. I mean, I bought this spike for $10. You can't really go wrong with it. And it doesn't have all the fancy schmancy parts that this Nike spike has, but honestly, I like it a little bit more. I think it has a much better support system. When you flick it, like, it comes right down. Same thing, like, you can look at how much toe lift they have between them. So as a sprinter, you're going to be on the ball of your foot. So this one actually has a much higher lift off the table. So this is gonna keep you higher off the ground. If you can hold that and have the good ankle mobility, this one's a little bit lower. So that's another thing that you can look at as well with your sprinting spikes. If you guys have any questions, let me know. Thanks for watching this video and subscribe to my page. Thanks.